You want to start a business in 2016 with no money? Or you have some savings and don't want to invest them all? That's a smart idea, because businesses fail. Statistically, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. So it's a really good move to look into how to succeed without spending all your money. You're probably wondering why you should listen to this guy here with a strange accent and a big nose talking about starting a business, and why you should watch this video. Because failure is the greatest teacher of them all. I'm doing really well these days, running multiple businesses, going on vacation abroad several times a year, and just having an amazing lifestyle. But I also had a lot of failed attempts. An online ordering startup, a food delivery startup, hiring economy, sharing economy, you name it, I've tried it all. I tried so many stupid ideas and made so many dumb mistakes, it's embarrassing. But I've also learned a lot from my failures, and I've developed an approach to starting a business. And I'm excited to be able to share that to you in this video today, along with some free resources that you can use for starting your own business. I have the privilege to be working with some amazing mentors, people who inspire me and who guide me. My mentors have success financially, some of them are millionaires or billionaires, but also success in other areas as just having an amazing lifestyle. A friend of mine, he surfs all day long and he still makes a ton of money. And my mentors have helped me to refine and improve that model. That's why it's so powerful, because two heads together are better than one. It doesn't matter what your reason is for starting a business. Maybe you're working and you're really bored with your job and you're just looking for a side gig. Or you lost your job. Or you think that lifelong traditional employment is dying. And yes, you're right, it is dying. Or you're looking for some additional security, extra income to not to be dependent on one paycheck from one employer. Or you're retired, you're in college. Maybe you just want a lifestyle business. I work from home whenever I want to. I have an 8-year-old daughter and I never miss a school performance. If you want some quality time with your loved one, that's a great reason for starting a business. A lifestyle business that fits the style of life that you want and that you deserve. And if you already are in business, then this video will help you to take it to the next level, make it more profitable, and take that next step that you've always dreamt about. Before I go into details, let me tell you a few things that you should not do. Please don't fall for those get-rich-quick schemes. They don't work. I've tried them all, so you don't have to. I'm kidding, I haven't, but trust me, they don't work. Look at this guy, for example. The Federal Trade Commission is prosecuting him for $275 million US. Fraud. If somebody promises you $10,000 a month with no work, no effort, nothing, just put your credit card down, it's not going to work. Bullshit. Don't fall for that, please. Don't write a business plan. You should briefly outline your approach and your goals, but don't write a 10 or 20 page document. Nobody's going to read it anyways. And you don't know enough about your business. You have to make most of it. It's pointless. No, just write down your key goals and your approach and reposition it over time. You want to refine your approach, change your approach slightly, because businesses, they don't move linear. No, there's no direct straight path. They move right and left and they wiggle a little bit back and forth. That's how businesses work. Sometimes there's even luck involved. Do you want me to tell you a few examples? Twitter, now a $20 billion companies, initially they were working on a podcasting platform. But then iTunes was released and they got scared and changed to something else. In hindsight, the visionary CEO knew that was going to happen. No, bullshit. They got scared, didn't know what to do. They changed to a social media network where you can send messages with less than 140 characters. Not linear at all, isn't it? You know, when you're done with a post, you just throw it in the trash? That's pretty much what Spencer Silver did when he tried to invent some super strong glue for 3M. It didn't work and he threw it away. Later, a colleague picked it up and was like, that's handy, I can put it on the back of a paper. It doesn't fly away anymore. That's how Post-its were born. Cornflakes, a similar type of story. I can keep on going here, but I'm sure you see the pattern by now, don't you? Businesses, especially revolutionary ideas, are not planned. They don't follow a linear pathway. Don't go to startup networking events and just talk about the idea. That's what entrepreneurs do. No, go out and do something, build something, sell something. Getting feedback from a fellow entrepreneur, let alone your family, your friends, is useless. They all tell you it's a great idea. Oh yeah, I'll buy it. I'll be your first customer. Awesome, I love the idea. That's bullshit. That's no validation. That doesn't help you at all. I've been guilty. I tried it myself. I talked to people and they all told me it's a great idea. And I failed. I failed so many times because people always told me it's a great idea. It's a great idea. No, you need to go out and do it, build it, try it, test it. That's the only way to really make sure it works. Don't incorporate a business immediately. You can act as a sole trader, sole proprietor for the time being. Also, you don't need any funding. I'm going to show you in a minute a lot of free resources. And don't start your business on credit. That's the stupidest idea you can do, because 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Does it make sense to you? Lastly, you don't need to be super smart for this. I'm just an average guy. I was never the best in school, and I made it. Look at some other successful entrepreneurs out there. You don't have to be a genius. It's not rocket science. What you need to do in order to succeed in starting a business is get the right mindset. First, you need to feed your mind with success stories, with inspiring stories from other entrepreneurs, but also some actionable information. Podcasts, videos, audiobooks, ebooks, articles. Read and immerse yourself in that world. But don't use the learning as an excuse not to be in action. No, you should rather use your downtime. For example, I always listen to a podcast or an audiobook when I'm driving my car, when I'm on public transport, or when I'm in the gym. You should do the same. Use that idle time, use that downtime to feed your mind with inspiring stories of other entrepreneurs. Maybe while you're gardening, while you're doing the dishes, while you repair your car, repair your bike, when you clean up. Any type of downtime, you want to use that for learning and for feeding your mind and inspiring yourself. And once you've developed the right mindset and you learn some tips and tricks from other people, what works and what doesn't work, then you need to execute on it. By execution, I don't mean writing a business plan. No, I mean going out there and doing something, being in action. You will fail and you will make mistakes. Other people just don't have the guts to tell you that. But the good news is, the faster you get up, the more you learn from it, the quicker you will succeed. You need to reposition your business based on your learnings and based on your failures. The business world moves incredibly fast these days. Billion-dollar companies like Uber are built in a couple of months or years. And existing incumbents get replaced by young and agile companies that leverage technology incredibly fast these days. They don't fixate on 5-year planning. No, they change their operations in milliseconds using technology. Do you want to hear an example about Amazon? Amazon is changing some of their prices several times a day. They're using computers to find the most optimal price point to maximize profit and revenue. And by doing that, they're destroying their competitors. If you're slow, your competitors will steal the food from your table. Do you agree with that? If there's a great business opportunity, you need to grab it, or your competitors will, and you will regret it. If there's one thing that I don't want you to have, then it's the feeling of regret. Regret about a missed business opportunity. I've been guilty there myself. I procrastinated, I didn't do the sales call that I had to do. But it didn't work, it's a waste of time. You need to be in action, massive action. The only way to succeed in business is to be in business. Let me tell you my own example about repositioning my business and learning from my customers. I was running a WordPress development shop and we accepted all types of projects, big and smalls, everything invoice based. And there were 2 issues. One was that in spring, everybody wanted to have a new website. And in summer and winter, nobody. I had to hire people and had to fire people constantly because there was this huge demand fluctuation. And secondly, because it was invoice based, people didn't pay on time, they were negotiating invoices after it was agreed upon. It's just a huge mess. But no, I kept on changing, I kept on repositioning my business, even though I was existing, I was already up and running. And then I introduced a subscription model. Now we get paid every month, fixed amount, and we do all the type of changes that our customers want. I have ongoing cash flow, it works beautifully, no more invoicing, no more hassle. And at some point my customers were asking me, hey, I like the website that you guys are building for me, I like the way that you maintain it, but I also need a few images. Within a few days, I created a second business offering, selling unlimited graphic design services. No, I didn't wait. I didn't let my competitors grab that opportunity. I did it myself. I just built a landing page, sent it to a couple of guys and said, hey, we just added that. It was change driven by my customers because I listened to them and I reacted quickly. Listening to your customers is another key ingredient. Do you agree? And once you've started action, you need to persevere with it. It's a combination of those 2 ingredients that will help you succeed. You need to hit the ground running and maintain high velocity against all odds, despite any setbacks. You need to have tenacity, perseverance, and the will to get up when others don't get up anymore. Steve Jobs, with 30 years, he was fired from the company he created. The board of directors decided to take Apple in a different direction. He was mentally destroyed and unemployed, but he rebounded. He came back to Apple, saved it from bankruptcy, and made it what it is today, the most profitable and most valuable company on earth. The greatest story of perseverance is the story of Walt Disney. Would you like me to tell it to you? As a young man, Walt Disney got fired from his first job because his boss thought he lacked creativity. Walt Disney, right? So what do when you get fired? You start your own business. He created an animation company and partnered up with a New York distributor. When the distributor went bankrupt, he also had to close the door of his business. He couldn't pay his rent anymore, and he even had to eat dog food. With the last few dollars in his pocket, he bought a train ticket to Hollywood. There, he worked on a cartoon character, Oswald the Rabbit. He was negotiating a deal with Universal when he found out that behind his scenes, they've secretly patented the character, and then they decided to move on without him, without paying him a dime. As if that wasn't enough, his own films were also not doing well. The Three Pigs were rejected by the distributors and he had to rewrite it entirely. The critics said that Mickey Mouse would fail because the mouse terrifies women. There were issues with Bambi, Pinocchio was shut down in production. He had so many challenges, but no, he kept on going despite all these setbacks, and he succeeded at the end because he persevered. He believed in his vision and he never gave up. The greatest example of Disney's perseverance is the story how he got Mary Poppins onto film. The author of the book, Travers, had no interest in selling to Hollywood at all. To win her over, Disney visited in her home to tell her about his great vision for the film and try to convince her. He visited her in her home in England, which is not really close, for 16 years. 1.5 decades of perseverance. And eventually, she gave in because she understood the vision that he had for the movie. This story blows my mind each time. How do you feel now after hearing that story? You're probably thinking, this all sounds great what this guy is saying, but I still have no money. The good news is you don't need any money. Let me show you a few resources on my laptop that you can use to start your business, which are free. You need a website? You can use Wix here. It's completely for free. But better than building a website, it's actually build a landing page, or a squeeze page as some people call it. A squeeze page usually just has one objective: to capture leads. It's not a full-blown website with a navigation bar and about us. It's just an offer page. You can build free landing pages here using Instapage. It's free not for 14 days, not for 30 days, it's free for 45 days. That should give you enough time to find some paying customers. But before start building a website and sign up here, make sure you write your sales copy, the text that you want to go on your website, and make sure to look for some pictures first. You can just search for images here on Google Image Search. Just make sure that under Search Tool, you select Usage Rights and filter it by label for reuse with modification. That way you're safe, you can use any of those pictures here and there is no copyright infringement. Once you downloaded a picture and you want to edit it, you can go here to Pixlr. Pixlr is a completely free photo editor. It's just used here in your browser. You don't even need to install anything. You can open images from your computer and then edit those images and load it back, save it back onto your hard disk. I'm going to include all those links in the description of this video below. If you need a logo, you can use Logo Garden. If you need a CRM, you can use Insightly. Insightly here under pricing is for free for 2 users, always for free. However, you don't need a full-blown CRM. Honestly, just a Google spreadsheet is enough for you. Here you have the name, company, origin, where the lead comes from, and some comments. That's all really you need to get going. You can do everything online for free these days. It's at least enough to get you going, to give you some time, 30 days, 60 days. And that should be enough to validate your market, to learn from your customers and to get going. Saying you can't start a business because you have no money is just an excuse. Learn something online for free. Here, Stitcher, for example, you can use that on your Android phone or iTunes on your iPhone. I love Entrepreneur on Fire with John Lee Dumas. And here on iTunes, for example, Late Night Internet Marketing with Mark Mason, really good, but there's so many free ebooks out there, videos, forums. I really like private Facebook groups and Slack groups where members talk to each other, give each other tips and feedback. Join some of those, they're all free. There's so many free resources available, it's ridiculous. Once you picked up some tips and once you learn something, you can start selling something. And here, for example, you can use Kickstarter to fund your project. Kickstarter is a crowdfunding platform that allows you to fund any type of creative project. Or maybe you want to sell some physical goods. Here you can use The Celery. Funny name, isn't it? TryTheCelery.com. It's a platform for pre-orders. You can get started again completely for free and start selling your products, and you only have to pay once your orders are coming in. And that's a good thing. The other thing that you can do is you pre-sell stuff on Amazon. And the beauty is you don't even need to have any inventory. It's completely free. Just click here on Start Selling on Amazon, and then put a nice product listing together with nice images and sell it. And if somebody buys it, just order it from a competitor or somewhere else on the internet, get next to delivery, and then send it to your customer. It may arrive a day late, but you don't need any money for that because you actually sell your product before you get the inventory. It's also called drop shipping. Some people do that. I know a lot of people make a ton of money on Amazon, and that's just a great way to get started with virtually no input, with virtually no investment. And once you made some money and need to send somebody an invoice, use freeinvoicegenerator.com. Once you made some money and you want to send somebody an invoice, use freeinvoicegenerator.com here. Again, completely free. You can use it as a sole trader, sole proprietor. You don't need to have a business incorporated to do that. Or just use good old PayPal. That always works. PayPal is always a great choice to ask people for funding. Do you agree with me now that money cannot be an excuse for not starting your business? Start offering some consulting services. Advise people on digital marketing, strategic marketing, sales, accounting, finance, things you know already about. Maybe some soft skills, productivity, creative thinking, cultural awareness, or you know a foreign language. Use that, start offering those services as a consultant. You're probably thinking, hey, I'm not scalable, I don't want to be a consultant, it's like being an employee, I want to be a boss. You just do that initially. Once you found out what works, you standardize your operations, you package it, and you run a productized service businesses. And at that point, you can hire employees, because everything is standardized and it's much smoother and much easier to hire somebody. And then you can remove yourself from your day-to-day operations and just oversee everything like I'm doing now. I've hired WordPress developers, graphic designers, marketing people, and a couple of VAs, virtual assistants that manage everything for me. And now I have the income and the lifestyle I want. I can travel the world whenever I want to. And you can do that too. Let me tell you about a friend, Thomas. He used to put things off all the time. Just excuses. He always wanted to talk. I gave him some coaching. Basically just some straight talking. Can I tell you what happened to him? He stopped making excuses. He stopped blaming others. And he looked the tiger in the eye. He just did it with no hesitation and no regret. He just did it. He did one step at a time, and 6 months later he was running a successful business. He now makes more money in a week than he used to in a year. So, the key to starting a successful business is to get your mindset right and operate with high speed. Develop that sense of urgency and perseverance like Walt Disney did. Keep in mind that not having money is just an excuse. Whatever your goal is, this is the pathway to starting a successful business in 2016. I invite you now to do something that reinforces that. Take some action. Make that phone call, draft that sales email, build a landing page, and sell something. If you got something out of this video and think others will benefit from it, then please share it on social media.
The Productivity Hacks Channel with Klaus Geisendorfer.